SMART goals are a thing of the past. Let's rethink that. In case you didn't know, these are my 2025 goals bingo board. I talked about this at the beginning of the year. I'll link the video down below. It's just not working for me. There, I said it, I did it. It's just not working for me. Hey, my name is Darz. Welcome here on this channel. We're learning and growing and expanding that comfort zone. And if it is super uncomfortable to rip up your goals that you had at the beginning of the year, me too. It took me, oh my gosh, that was painful. So painful. Oh gosh, I'm gonna rip this, but I just don't want to rip it. Oh, but it's for the video. I can do it for the video. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh my gosh. How long is this going to take me? Okay. But honestly, sometimes we just need to realize that the path that we're on is not exactly it, and we can adjust and change things up. So that is what today's video is about. And first of all, I want to say, before I completely destroy this, I did achieve a huge goal that has been like a bucket list item for too long. It was go and visit Alaska. I actually have family in Alaska, and I had more family previously in Alaska, but I finally went to visit Alaska. That was my second time there, actually, but I've been wanting to go back since I went, and that was almost 10 years ago. Way too long, way too long. Another thing that I just did, actually, and I don't like having different color stuff, but is read another book. So I finished my 4th book of the year, and it's only July. Bug bites. And I have one more to go in several months. I think I'll surpass my goal of 5. Okay, so let's talk about the issue with this bingo board. This is very fun. This is great to get started. This is an amazing way to do like a bucket list of sorts. But the thing is, I'm realizing most of the things that I wrote on this list are pretty much a bucket list type of thing. Like one of these is go on a climbing wall. I could pick any random Tuesday. What is that bird doing? I mean, not literally, but I could pick any random weekend day to go find a climbing wall and go on a climbing wall. It's not like, it's more of a bucket list item. It's not a goal. It's not a thing to work towards. It's literally a to-do on a list that I can check off at any given time. I am not like working towards it. I'm not doing anything on a daily basis to get to being able to go on a climbing wall. So I understand how SMART goals can be very useful at times, but I also understand why so many people become depressed when they hit their highest goal, their hugest ever, biggest dream in life. It's like reaching a point where you check mark and then you're like, literally, now what? What is my life? What am I doing now? I already achieved the thing that I set out to achieve. So what's next? So let me tell you what I am thinking for reiterating. And you know, I thought the bingo board was the biggest, bestest thing when I made it. So you never know. In 6 months, I might be like, screw that. That was a horrible idea. Let's try something else. But that's what this is all about, you know. On this channel, we learn and grow and expand the comfort zone. And we reiterate and we change things up when we learn new things. We have to be willing to accept that we were wrong, and there are other ways to do things. So where do we start? First of all, my number 1, 365-day video challenge. Of course, this is a daily thing that I'm doing. Once I finish it, it will be another check mark on the list, and it will be another moment of like, okay, now what? I'm sure that's going to happen. Some of these things like snowboard 5 times, skate 3 times, like visit 10 new places. These are like a slow check mark and building up to an ending point. But it's still like, once you get to that point, like what's the point? What's the whole idea, you know? Don't get me wrong. I still love the bingo board. I think I might have already said that, but I still love it. But I want to use it differently, okay? So recently, myself, I have found, recently I have found myself feeling unfulfilled, feeling like, what is my life? Feeling like, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? Where am I going? What's the point of everything that I'm doing? And whenever I try to come to my bingo board goal list for like, what do I do next? I look at it and I think, doing a 65-day video challenge? Well, I did my video today, so I don't have anything to do there. Or like, I'll go and sit and brainstorm on something, but it's like, not really a compass. Snowboard, well, it's summer, so I can't even do anything about that goal. Sister's trip, well, I've talked with my sisters about this, and we just need to figure out some X, Y, and Z, and it's not really any ball in my court, so nothing to do there. And I go through this, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like doing that today. Or like, well, that's not going to happen today. Or, so it's like, it's not giving me any direction on a day-to-day basis. So I sat down and I said, what are things that I could be constantly working towards that are not SMART goals, because they're not achievable, they're not time-bound. I can't remember the other letters, but they're definitely not achievable or time-bound. They're just something that I constantly, on a day-to-day basis, I have that I can work on, I can try to take steps towards, but it's something I'm never really going to achieve because it's such a big, grand, beautiful goal, just a point of life. So if I say my goal is to enjoy life, I can go out and do something today that I enjoy. I can go out and do something right now that's fun and enjoyable, but I can't ever say, okay, I crossed that one off the list, because I don't want it to be a cross off the list. I want it to be a guiding North Star that helps me move forward and gives me direction. I'm hoping that makes sense. I don't know if I've explained it like 3 or 5 different times and it's still not making sense, but let's just go through what I've kind of thought through at this point. One, obviously, humongous thing in my life is my kids. As a parent, you are never done being a parent. You will always be a parent. Kids, and I just say kids because it encompasses so many things. You want to raise them well. You want them to be kind. You want them to learn. You want them to learn to become independent. You want them to, find their own fulfillment in life and all these things that you want for your kids, right? So my biggest thing is kids. And the thing that I'm thinking for this adjustment of goals is that I have these big, huge things. And then, of course, I can break down what places I can reach. So say kids, it's a mountain. It's a goal mountain. Kids' achievement goal is at the very top of the mountain, but I'm never going to reach it. It's like it's the end of my life, basically. And so what are the points? What are the base camp and what do they call the camps on the way up a mountain when you're hiking? I don't know. What does each camp look like? So base camp might be where we are now. The next level might be they've graduated high school. I don't know. Got their first car, bought their first house. I don't know if they're even going to buy a car or a house. Maybe they don't want to. Totally up to them. But what are things that I would imagine for my kids to mean that I am being successful at parenting? Does that make sense? I am successful. I am successfully parenting them. I've achieved some sort of level of success with parenting. I don't know. Okay, another thing that I want to constantly be striving towards is, good health and being well. That is bodily, that is physically, that is mentally, that is making sure I'm eating well, making sure I'm working out my body, making sure that my body's going to survive longer so that I can parent my kids longer. There's so many different pieces and parts of health and wellness, but health and wellness is the overall thing that I can never achieve and check off the list, but there are things that I can do on the daily that mean I am on the right track. So, okay, couple breakdowns. I have the big old umbrella thing, right? Health and wellness. I have different categories in health and wellness. I have mental, I have physical, what else? Okay, let's just start with mental and physical. Well, mentally, what do I have to do to have a healthy mental state? I need to have regular things in life that I enjoy. So enjoy life. I have to spend time in nature because that is very healing for me. I have to maybe meditate sometimes. I have to prayer sometimes. Have good friends around me that I can talk to about things. Physical, I need to regularly move my body, actually work out my muscles, like actually do hard stuff for my muscles. I have to eat well. I have to, have good nutrition. Yeah, that's a good start. Health and wellness. In there, I have mental, physical. Under physical, I have work out and eat well. And so what habits then can I have in my daily life under workout that will be conducive to contribute to my physical well-being, which will contribute to my overall health and wellness? And that could be just regular, maybe it's 3 times a week, maybe it's 5 times a week, maybe it's every single day, maybe it's move your body or work out. Maybe every other day you're gonna work out and then the other day you're gonna go for a walk. Here's where I'm getting down to like lift weights or whatever it is you want to do. So that's finally where the bingo board would come in, right? I have on my bingo board, try out an exercise class. So that is one tiny little baby step that I can check off that will fit under my workout section of my physical well-being section of my health and wellness overall way of being non-achievable goal. So I think that's where I went wrong on this bingo board, is just like, I was just coming up with arbitrary random things that I could put on a list and check off before it is 2026, before January 1st. As I said, as I've gone through the year, it's like, okay, well, I went to Alaska. That was super fun, but like, I don't have the next thing on the list. I don't have, so for example, one of my huge unachievable things is travel and adventure. Under travel and adventure, I might have, what might I have? What are different levels of like travel and adventure? I might have experienced different locations. I might have live in different states. I might have go to different countries, I might have, visit all of my siblings. Oh, that's another thing on here. If you didn't know, I have 14 siblings, and so this means I have now visited a couple of my siblings that live close by. I haven't checked them off of this list yet because I haven't really visited them at their house. I've visited with them. I've seen them quite a bit, but this list means I actually want to go to their house to visit with them. And a couple of them, like my brother's wife watches my kids for me regularly. And so I go to their house a lot, but I haven't had the chance to sit down and visit. It's like, I'm only going there to pick up or drop off my kids. And it's kind of, I'm like, ugh, I wish it weren't that way. But anyway, I would really like to just go and visit and chill out for a bit, together. Anyway, I've visited 8 out of my 14 siblings so far this year. So under my travel and adventure section is visit all of my siblings. And then when I'm visiting each of my siblings, because they live in different locations, I get to do things like go to Alaska, go to other states and fun places. So that's a whole adventure thing. I have other stuff on here. I'll just go through them quickly because I don't have time to talk through every step of this. I want to grow and learn, of course. I want to help people, and that is super vague, but I purposely made this list quite vague so that I can start to break it down and figure out what does that mean. You know what the other thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to define each of these categories. Like, what does that actually mean for me? What does help people mean for me? Nature, I put on here. I guess that fits under my health and wellness. So I don't necessarily need that as a separate category, but I do need to spend time in nature. Time freedom and money freedom as 2 different categories. I wasn't really sure if these are gonna really make the list or not. This is just a quick brainstorm session. So I was like, what does it actually mean though if I have time freedom? Or what does it actually mean if I have money freedom? And I think what I was thinking with these is that if I have money freedom, that will give me more chances to, do travel and adventure or to go visit people or help people or learn and grow. Money freedom just gives you that freedom to kind of decide what you want to do with your life instead of having to go work at the local grocery store where you're miserable just because you need to make ends meet. Let me know what you think of this way of looking at goals. let me know if y'all have any goals that you are reaching for this year, or in the next 12 months, or in the next 6 months, or in the next 5 years, or in the next whatever it is. I, over the weekend, saw the dream of this older couple, retired couple. They were working towards, like, I don't know how many years, but for sure many years, because the lady was like, yeah, I've been collecting these coffee cups because I was just dreaming of the day that I'd have them in my dream house, you know? And so I think there's very small, tangible pieces that we can pull into our regular life that can help build towards that dream that we have in our future. And it's good to have baby steps that we can cross off the list, but we don't want to stop ourselves and end up with this unfulfilling, like, empty hole after we cross things off the list because we don't know what's next. So I'm about to sit down and fill out this list for myself, and I'm curious if y'all do the same, what you come up with. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.